Why, hello, boys. How are you? It's nice and quiet here tonight. Not going to be so much background noise. I don't anticipate the dog to bark or anything. She is here. You want to get a close up of the dog for a second? I think they wanted the dog in the video. Look, say hi, doggy. All right. Bye, doggy. Bye, dog. Okay. They wanted the doggy in the video. All right, now you got your doggy. Okay. So we're going to talk about Chaf and Lamed. And we'll do Chaf first. Chaf is not that difficult a letter to speak about. As you see, there's not that many steps. It's really all about having a familiarity with the motion. It's all in the wrist. It's a wrist twister. What do I mean? It's like the resh, where really the resh can become a very fluid motion when you make your kav haschala and then just drag back and go into from dragging with the width of in this case the marker, but in the case of the kolmus, and then turning into the tip and turning down. Now, after that, you're going to go exactly underneath where you made your first kav haschala and make a new one, exactly underneath. Almost like when you made your bays, you make one line, right, and then you make another line, and then you make that line to connect it. So here you're not doing that, you're curving in, but you're making that next kav haskala right underneath. And you have to be very careful. This is where people mess up on a chaf, is they'll make it too far down or too close. What you're looking for, again, is 3 kolmas widths. One, then one in the middle, and one on the bottom. You can see it better here, right? How many boxes across? Shalosh. How many boxes down? Gamkin shalosh, right? It is a square. It's a very circular, curvy square, but it's a square. 3 boxes by 3 boxes. And over here, you're doing a new motion that you've never done before. It's a reverse resh, where again, you're dragging back and then you're going into the tip. So you're going width, 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 width for 3, and then going into the tip going up. And as you can see in this drawing, you really connect the tips to each other. And when you're left with it, you're left with a connected chaf. So that's a chaf. Once you've done a chaf, you can really make a lamed, right? Because lamed's got a little chaf in it, and we've already learned a vav. Now this vav is a very particular looking vav. However, it is a vav. And the big difference between the lamed and any other letter that we've learned is we have not had something go this far above the sirtut. Remember, the line that you're writing on would be right here. So the top of the chaf would be on the sirtut, right? Top of the lamed's on the sirtut too, this part of it. But that's above. So you got to be careful that when you're actually using a kolmus, your kolmus isn't too thick, so that's not too big for your sirtut. Otherwise, this thing will come up and smack one of the letters that's on top of it. You got to be very careful that your lamed doesn't smack other letters that are on the line above it, or go into the airspace of a hay even. If you had a hay above it, shouldn't go into the middle of the hay, right? You got to be careful with that. If it smacks another letter, actually touches another letter, it would passel whatever you're writing. If it goes up into the airspace of a letter like a hay or a kuf or something like that, then although it doesn't passel, it's not very good. Now, let's talk about how you write it. So you actually start down here. You write your chaf first, or your resh really. Kav haskala, and drag back and go into your curve. Kav haskala, it's not as far out. It's not directly below your original kav haskala. It's, as you see over here, a little less than halfway, right? Because this on the bottom, this is a 3 by 3, right? 3 boxes down, 3 boxes across up here, 3 boxes down. Over here, there's about halfway. Here's 1.5, right? So this is actually up here, it looks a little bit further, and that's not ma'akev, but you're not going to start all the way over here. Don't do that. It's somewhere in the middle over here, right? And you make your new kav haskala, drag back in like you made your chaf. So it's almost like a chaf, you're just not as far over on the bottom. Then you go make a new kav haskala here. Now, the vav of the lamed is very specific. It's got a little coats over here. It's got a little coats over here, and a little coats on the top of it. You can see it over here. You've got this little coats over here. And you've got one here and one here, right? So it's a vav, but it's got more coats in them. A regular vav doesn't have any coats in them. This one has 3, really. So then you draw that so that you make your kav haskala.
drag back into your vav. Fluid motion, drag across with the width, one little, really less than 1 komas width, as you can see. It's less than a komas width. And then you drag down. So a vav head is bigger than this, because a vav head is a full komas width. All right, let's draw a couple. I'm actually going to start on this line, because if I do a lamed up here, I'm not going to have any space, just because of the way that I made this. In a regular mezuzah or something like that, you will have some space above the top sirtut. But in this is a practice page, so you wouldn't. All right, let's make a chaf. Maybe I'll make the chaf on that line. Nah, I'll go down here either way. Kav haskala. Right there. Drag 3. 1, 2, 3. Down into it. Go directly underneath. Kav haskala. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to make it a little sharper over here. There's my chaf. You can see it. Now let's make a lamed. I'm going to come over a little bit. We'll write the word kol. So here's my kav haskala. 1, 2, 3. Drag down. And go over here about halfway. 1, 2. Drag up into it. Okay. Now I need to make my vav head. Over here. Kav haskala. Alright, and now I need some kotzim. I'll go right here. You could have done this really with the kav haskala. But now, here we go. There's our lamed. Not bad, eh, boys? Here's your chaf, here's your lamed. It says kol. We're going to be working on that tomorrow. Be'ezras Hashem. All right, have a good night. Bye-bye.